Good morning, members and friends of Calvary. It's time for your video devotion of the week. And our video devotion today comes from our devotions for this week. And yesterday was 1 Kings chapter 12, and verse number 8 will be the basis of it. And it's the story of Rehoboam taking the kingdom. And he seeks counsel from the old men and doesn't like what they say. Verse number 8, it says, "But he forsook the counsel of the old men which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him." And I've heard for years that this verse was teaching us that we should listen to the older men in our life and the older people in our life. And certainly there's some validity to that. But the text actually says he forsook the counsel of the old men before he even heard the counsel of the young men. In other words, he had already made up his mind. And now he was looking for affirmation. He was looking for someone to tell him that what he wanted to do was okay to do. And in the very next chapter, we're told about an unknown, unnamed man of God that goes to Jeroboam and preaches a very bold message. He's told to leave and depart after he does so, not stick around. And in verse number 11 of chapter 13, it says, "Now there dwelt an old man in Bethel." And so there's this old prophet that comes to him and says, no, God told me it's okay for you to come and eat with me. And the young prophet listens to the old prophet and comes in, and while they're there, God gives the old prophet a message and says to the young prophet, because you didn't listen to the word of the Lord, you're going to die before you get home. And he does. On his way home, a lion eats him, doesn't eat the donkey. The donkey stays right there, doesn't eat the carcass. It's very obvious that this was of the Lord. And the old prophet then says in chapter 13 and verse number 26, "And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, It is the man of God who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord." And certainly we could bring out some thoughts about the old prophet and who he is and his character. But my point of all of that is simply this. It's not that we shouldn't listen to the old. It's not that we should listen to the young. That's not the purpose of either story. The purpose of both stories is this. We ought to listen to what the Bible says. It doesn't matter if it's an old person who's telling you something contrary to the Bible. It doesn't matter if it's a young person telling you something contrary to the Bible. It doesn't matter if it's your feelings that tells you something contrary to the Bible. It doesn't matter if it's the circumstances that's telling you something contrary to the Bible. We need to follow the Bible. Do what the Bible says. No matter who's on the other side. I don't care if it's me, the hero of a faith, your mom, your dad, your kids, whatever it is. Don't be governed by what people say. Be governed by what the Bible says. And if we'll do that, it won't always be easy, but at least we know we'll have God on our side. And if God be for us, who can be against us? Thank you.